Hi. I
Hi,
think,
you're there.
okay, so it's Tuesday night. It's our standard
Stormy
thunderstorms all
weather.
around me, and I've already been kicked off the stream twice. So, hi. Hi, knitting world.
Yeah, we are from the Tuesday evening stormy weather center of Ontario. I don't know how many times that is now on Tuesdays that it's been. Okay, I can't hear you, Kelly. Can anybody hear Kelly? Can anybody hear me? No. Okay. Anyway, I'll say hi to everybody. Hopefully, you guys can all hear me. Let me know if you can hear. Okay, we'll go back. We've got a lot of people in here already. Hi, Tracy, Elaine, Linda, Janie, Marie, Margot, Trudy, Mary, Kathy, Mary P, Margot, Annette, Sue, Joan, Heather, Emily, Angela, Julia, Susie, Anna, Teresa, Deborah, Sarah, Robin, Kathy, Amanda, Linda. So if I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. Oh, they're saying
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear
No?
you now. I
You
can
can
hear
hear
you
me
now.
now.
I can hear
Okay.
you now. And Dawn says she can hear me, but not you. Can everybody hear Kelly now? Cheryl said she couldn't hear either one of us. Well,
Oh,
hopefully that's fixed. Okay, everybody's saying yes, they hear both. Most people are
okay.
saying yes, they hear both.
Okay.
Okay, welcome to our hot mess show.
The shift show. Um, we are Knits and Pieces,
Yes,
and
we
this is
are.
our Tuesday night knit chat. And this is the informal and often fraught with
Chaotic.
technical difficulties show,
Yep.
knit virtual knit night. And I'm Kelly. This is my friend Noelle, and we also have a regular podcast that we put out episodes once a month that usually don't go this way.
Yeah, not
And
because
if
we cut it out.
yes, but if it's your first time joining us, welcome. And we usually have this issue on Tuesday nights for some strange reason. I think the last 3 nights of Tuesday, or last 3 weeks of Tuesdays, have been storm ridden, and we have thunderstorms all around us again in the area. And I've already gotten storm alerts from Ontario Hydro. So
Oh, yeah.
hopefully everything stays okay.
Okay.
And if you're not here for your first time and you've been here before, welcome back. So, what are you working on, Noelle?
Well, it's what date is this anyway? The 21st of September. So I have to get my lucky dip done, right? Because it's got to be done by the end of the month. So I started it.
It's the
But
last
I'm
day of
going
summer,
to
too.
do, I'm going, yeah, last day of summer. It doesn't feel like, well, it does feel kind of summery and muggy out there today, but
It's humid.
now
It's
now
really
that
humid.
it's now that it's this late in September, I'm looking forward to fall weather and wearing some of those sweaters that I've just finished knitting.
Yeah.
But anyways, today I'm doing, so I decided with this ball, which is West Yorkshire Spinners, and I do believe that this colorway is Fairy Lights. So I'm going to do all 3 of my granddaughters a little pair in this one. Because I
So
thought it
cute.
was, if you look at the colors, it's colors that they would like, and there's even like a pink in it, and so I haven't decided whether I'll match heels and toes or whether I'll do them all the same. So, what are you
Okay.
working on?
I'm back on this,
Oh, your sock.
my sock.
It looks
So
good. The stripes look really good on screen.
I know they're just not as vivid in person. So I'll just, I don't know what I'll do about that. I really like it though. I do really like
Yeah, I
it.
do
And I'm
like it.
using these 2 colors from Full Moon Fiber. This is as fresh as it gets and as cool as it gets. And it's feeling neither today. It's super sticky here. I don't know what it's
Yeah, it
like,
is.
but anyway, so I pretty much have only worked on this during Knit Chat, and then I re-knit it during Knit Chat because I was doing stripes that were 2 rows each, and I wasn't getting enough definition between the 2 stripes. So then I took it out And now I'm doing 3 rows of color for each stripe, and I like it a little bit better. So I've been pretty much only working on it during Knit Chat. And then I did work on it last Saturday, though, when we got together underneath the bridge in Sarnia to knit. And it was cold that day.
It was freezing.
It's a good thing we're knitters.
I had a sweater on, and yes. I had my shawl, but I was wearing shorts. I don't know what possessed me to wear shorts, but it was warm when I stepped outside at my house. But under the bridge, it was cold. But luckily, Kelly had a nice warm blanket in her car that pretty much I was all bundled up in the... Really, it was almost close to needing fingerless mitts to knit.
I was going to grab mine before I left the house that morning, and then I thought, oh no, I won't need them. But I probably could have.
Well, it was super windy. I think that was part of it. The wind was cool.
Yeah,
but it was fun. We were there for 3 hours.
I know. I missed the produce store again. You can't let me do that again because they close at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And I missed them 2 weeks in a row. So that wasn't good. That's not good at all.
Were we that late? Words, Noelle, words. Were we that late the week before?
Well, I think we were but I think we ended up chatting still in the parking lot even a little bit longer. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with my headphones. They keep tightening up. Puts me on a short leash. I don't like to be on a short leash. Anybody who knows me knows that. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, how is everybody else? And Julia was with us on... on Saturday. And it was wonderful. It was like, I just wonder how many more days like that we're going to still have where it's actually still warm enough to knit.
Probably
and
not too many.
We actually got smart, 2 hours in and said, why don't we move to the sun? It's warmer.
And Natalie was with us. Natalie of Remembrances Pottery. She's our good friend and super talented potter. She makes these amazing mugs, and they're hard to get. They're super hard to get your hands on. They sell out
quickly.
So quick. I have a few, and they're gorgeous. So
I have a couple. I'm afraid to use it on this though, because I might drop something, or it seems like I'm not that coordinated when we do Knit Chat. So.
I like Julia's comment. She says, nobody keeps Kelly on a short leash, thinking of Dirty Dancing. That's right. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Well, Rachel says she'd love to make it to the knit group sometime.
Well, I hope you can. I hope you can.
I told her I won't be there this well, I think it's supposed to be raining this Saturday.
Is it really?
It's supposed to rain for the next 5 days or something. So just good knitting weather, but sitting inside knitting weather.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway, but yeah, so it is nice to finally start thinking about being able to wear sweaters. So
are we thinking about some sweaters to cast on?
I'm always thinking about sweaters to cast on. I need to think about sweaters that I need to finish the sleeves on. So now I have almost finished. I should show you guys what I've been working on the last couple of days. I'm trying to get the weekender finished, the one that I'm doing for Leo and Roxy. So I've gotten pretty far.
That's really pretty. That's turning out really nice.
Just have one sleeve left and only about, I think about 3 or 4 more decreases in it. So anyway, so I'm going to show you the neck. So the neck is, it's a cast off in Tubular, but they do the setup rows before you cast off. And what's really cool about it is you can hide your ends in the middle of that tube.
Yes.
Yes, you can. Awesome. You can sew your ends right into the middle of that tube. So right at the moment, until I do the sleeves, I pretty much got all the ends sewn in so that you cannot see on either side the ends, which means you may be able to wear it inside out. And this one's kind of neat because it's got at the top of the shoulder, it's got that exposed seam.
Yes.
You do your 3-needle bind off, but you do it with the wrong sides facing instead of the right sides facing, which then also means when you go in to the other side, right? When you go into this side, then you've got a really nice seam on this side too. If you don't see it.
Yeah, that looks great.
Down the front. So here's now the inside. So when I had to put in a new skein of yarn, I made sure that I did it in the middle of where the slip stitch is on the other side. So again, you could sew those right down that. It's almost kind of like a casing that you get with it.
Yeah.
So you don't see any of those seams either. So I've only got the sleeve seams left to sew in. So I'm hoping I can just kind of go down.
So you've made pretty much a reversible sweater then.
Almost. Yeah. I think it's pretty close. I think you, so far, like I said, I haven't done the sleeves yet, but I've only got a few joins in the sleeve. And I did do, which is why I'm not finishing that sleeve right now, is because I'm doing, what do you call it? Helical. So then when you get to the end and you're turning all those, it's heavy, and I'll do that after. So anyway, so that is Leo and Roxy. It is their merino worsted. It feels amazing. It's a lot bigger size than I would knit for myself, but I think that it's going to be even bigger when I block it out, but then it will block out to the measurements of the size that I did. So I'm happy with it. I'm tired of knitting it now. I'm ready to move on to something else, but I'm making myself get it done before I at least cast on another sweater. So. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Sue. Yeah, the tubular bind off. Like I just think the tubular bind off and the tubular cast on, I really like them. I know it's kind of a thing that you either really like it or you don't like it. And I just like how the edge, like if you see that there's kind of like no end, the edge just goes around, right? And again, it's amazing for sewing in your tails, and even same on the, let me grab one out here, but on the bottom of the cuffs, right? So you can actually hide your tail that you've got to sew in right into that tube along the end of the cuff. Now, I've also done it before where it's a tubular bind off, but I think it might be called the Italian stone bind off. You don't do the setup rows, you just actually go in and you kind of, do your Kitchener stitching off. But I find with the setup rows, it gives you more space to be able to hide ends into your seams or into your finishes. So anyway, so if you haven't tried it, I would definitely recommend trying tubular bind off and cast on.
Okay.
So
I'm back.
Kelly's back.
I'm back.
Anyway, thanks, Mary.
I wanted to go back a few comments. Emily said that her 4-year-old has been homesick, but she's fine now, so that's all good. So she said she's had some extra cuddle time at home. And then in the midst of that, Valerie popped in. Hey, Valerie. Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Welcome back. And there was something else just before I get kicked out of here that I wanted to comment on. And I'm trying to catch up. I've lost it now. I'm sorry, but.
Oh, Julia said she finished her songbird shawl for the fall shawl.
Oh,
that's fall for shawl, Cal. Is that the one you were working on the weekend? Is that the one in the Malabrigo?
I thought she was talking about one in Letalopi.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, she cast on a Felix in Letalopi. Okay. Do you want to talk about her shawl?
Yeah. Okay. So we are starting September 1st. We are running a fall for shawls Cal. So you've got all of September and all of October, and you just need to knit or crochet or weave a shawl. You can do a cowl if you want, but if you do a cowl, you have to use at least 100 grams of yarn. So we've got up on Ravelry, we've got actually a really active chatter thread. People are showing which shawl they're doing and what yarns they're using. So you can probably get some ideas from there. And then the finished object thread is up. So anybody that's done can start putting their finished objects into the finished objects thread. So yeah, so go into the chatter because there's lots of great shawl patterns in there, different yarns. Like it's actually amazing how different a shawl can look depending on what yarn you choose. Like it can look like a totally different shawl. So Julia just said she just finished the one. What was that, Julia's songbirds? Go back here a bit. Oh, songbird shawl. It looked awesome. And the color that you did it in was amazing. Julia did it in Malabrigo Rios. And the color was like a deep, deep burgundy, probably similar to your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to say there are a few things more there are a few things more annoying than being constantly kicked out of the stream.
What's more annoying?
What's more annoying? Maybe a few things, but not too many things.
Not many, no.
It's very annoying. What I was going to say is, did you, or maybe you did while I was gone, talk about our fall?
I did.
Okay, because I had a little banner for it.
Oh, I talked about it, and that I have set up because someone last week asked about the finished object thread. So the finished object thread has been set up.
Okay.
I want to go back here before I get, Sue had asked how many setup rows. When I do the tubular bind off, what Andrew Mowry's called for was like 2 setup rows. So you're basically doing a setup row that does your knits and a setup row that does your purls. And then you go to the actual sewing it off. So Marianne said after finishing the hinterland, she worked on a non-eventful sweater. Oh, so she's doing Material Girl by Chelsea Yarns. I like that one. Actually, that one you can do in the slub.
Oh, and you could too.
Really nice slub that I might think about doing that in.
Valerie said she has made 4 Material Girl sweaters.
Wow.
You are a machine, Valerie. That's a lot. That's a lot of sweaters.
Yeah, Marianne said it's a good knit. I'm going to have to revisit that one. Hi, Scylla. Scylla says hello from Iceland. Oh, Lillian's here from Alberta. Oh, Mary's doing a test swatch for my fall for shawl.
Yay.
Yay. Yeah. So just going back here and seeing if I missed anything. If anybody puts something in there and we don't get to it, like put it in again, because we're kind of flipping through them, and just in case we miss it, just put it in again.
Yeah. So on Instagram, I've got it going below the screen here now. On Instagram, if you use that hashtag KNP fall for shawls, then that's where we'll get to see all the shawls that you're working on. I mean, you can put them in our Ravelry thread as well, but if you some people like to do a little bit more on Instagram than on Ravelry, and on Instagram, everybody can
and it's
join
nice
in.
to see. It's nice to see progress too, right?
Yes.
And it's sometimes absolutely. you see a shawl done in a yarn that you didn't think of doing it in, and it looks totally different, and it can change your idea of whether you like the shawl or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I know there's been sometimes actual designers' pictures that I'm like, yeah, I don't know, and then you see it done in something else, and you think that you've got to get that yarn and make that shawl. So, okay, Amanda, you're doing the drop stitch blanket of doom. And it turned out to be a really wide shawl. Oh, that's nice. That's good to have a nice shawl like that. That drop stitch, though, it does look amazing. Like, it does really showcase your yarn. Like, especially I find it really helps break up a variegated yarn and just kind of see more of the colors in it. Oh, Valerie, you're doing the West Knits make along. Oh, but you're trying to clear up your whips and trying to clear up needles. And Sarah, you're doing the Fantasitch. Is that the one? Is that the one that's the make along, or is that one from before? Oh wow, 400 stitches plus. And Heather, you're doing the Humblebee shawl, and you started it in August. Now you're going to find a new one. That Humblebee shawl, I don't know if I'm going to get to it for this knit along, but I definitely want to get that on my needles. I've actually even got yarn in a nice like honey wheat color. So I do really want to get that, but it probably won't be till after the end of the knit along. And Margot, you're working on the Zilver. The Zilver's really nice. Did you do it in the yarn that they called for, or did you go up? Because I know I've done it a couple of times. I've done one in Fleece Artist Merino Slim, which is a fingering weight, and then you kind of get just like kind of a little neck shawl. But then I've also done it in what was the yarn? It was Blue Moon Fiber Arts Peru, which is an alpaca yarn, but it's a worsted to an Aran weight, and it makes a really nice, like cozy wrap shawl. So it's kind of nice to be able to take one pattern and do it with different weights and get different sizes. And yes, we agree, Valerie, clearing your needles is important. So, and I agree with you, Emily. People that do Stephen West knit alongs are so brave, especially when it's a mystery knit along. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but I just cannot. I can't do a mystery. I have to know what I'm knitting, especially when I'm picking out colors for it. And I know a lot of his shawls have like 5, 6 or more skeins of yarn in it. That's hard to pick those colors out when you don't really know how they're all going to go together. But kudos for you guys that do it. Like I'm sure it's fun seeing it developed, but I just cannot make myself do a mystery knit along with 5 or 6 skeins of yarn. We're talking about mystery knit alongs.
I did one once.
I did one once, and it was only a 1 skein shawl, and it was okay, but I didn't really like the yarn that I had. If I had known what it was, I would have picked a less variegated yarn. So anyway, I just have to see the shawl. But speaking of Stephen West shawls, like the only one I've ever done is Boneyard, which is basically not typical Stephen West.
Right.
But when we were under the bridge on Saturday, like Julia's shawl was gorgeous.
Absolutely stunning.
And that is the slip extravaganza. And I thought, wow, that construction looks so neat.
Yes.
And you know what? I might be tempted to do that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, all in different colors of pink.
Of course.
No, but I might. I really liked the construction of it and how it went together. Yeah, I might be tempted to do that one. But I won't, not for the fall for shawls. I have too many other things that I have to get done. I'm thinking probably between now and Christmas. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to just cast on. We'll see. We'll see. I got to finish some of the things that I have on the needles. Anyways.
Yep.
So
I haven't even thought about Christmas knitting yet.
Well,
I'm that far behind.
I'm doing my socks. And for Christmas knitting, I also would like to do my granddaughter's all a little dress. But the one that I found that I like, it's called the Festival Dress by Petite Knits. It's fingering weight, but it's just a really cute dress, and it's got just like little rows of a contrast color in it, which I thought I could stick in my some of my hand spun in for that. So yeah, I might do that. I don't know. 3 fingering weight sweaters, or sorry, 3 fingering weight dresses, even if they are for little people, just sounds a little daunting. Yeah, and Julie, I might do it. I might have to get you to help me pick out my colors, though. So Elizabeth, you're working on the Opus and the Paola. I know the Opus one is the one by Max, and the Paola one, I'm not sure. Oh, it's Mosaic too. Oh, that would be cool. And then Casapinko's Nacho. Yeah, that's what I think, Emily. It's I can put together a few colors, but I don't know. Sometimes I just get overwhelmed when I have to pick a lot of colors to go together. And Sarah, I'm getting through. I showed the Weekender, so I am getting through the sleeves on that. This is what I'm doing. This is how far I've gotten in this one. So I'm not at the sleeves, but I'm not. So this is the Mira sweater, and this is by LB Hand Knits. And I'm pretty much down to where I'm going to start the rib, and then I'll just have to do the sleeves on that. But that one's going pretty fast because it's in the Barocco remix, the regular, which is like a worsted to an Aran weight, and it works up pretty quickly. So far, it goes pretty far too, because so far I've only got 2 balls of the burgundy color in. I'm almost at the end of that last one though. And then up at the top, it's less than half a ball of a 100-gram ball for the contrast color. So yeah, so I'm gonna kind of make a rule where I have to finish. I've got to get a sweater finished of the ones that I've got started before I can start another one. So I've got 3 or 4 sweaters that need sleeves. So before I can start another one, I have to at least finish one, and the Weekender one doesn't count. So that way, hopefully I'll get them all done. And realistically, I really don't know why it's taking me so long to do the sleeves, because the Weekender one, I just started the sleeves yesterday and I'm almost done. Like I just need to sit down and make myself do it. So, oh, you want to see my floats? Okay. Okay, just a minute here. I don't want to pull my yarn off the needle. And Linda, where's Kelly? Kelly's out, lost in the internet world somewhere. We're hoping that she's going to be back. It's pretty stormy here in southwestern Ontario. So she's, oh, there she's back. I was just telling someone had asked, they had just joined and asked where you were, and someone else wanted to see my floats.
Okay.
So there's my floats. So this one was nice because there really wasn't a whole lot of places where you were carrying anything for very long. So that really was a nice one to work on. So, and I just want to go back. Vicky, hi Vicky. She says she's happy to catch us live, and she's working on the Gulfstream pullover by Beth McDonald. And Vicky, it's funny that you should say that, because I am going to visit a friend tomorrow, and I am stopping at Wool and Silk on the way. And I was actually going to pick up, I want to actually get some Patagonia Santa Cruz. So it's their organic merino, but it's the Aran weight. And that is exactly the pullover I want to do. But I'm going to finish this one first before I start another one. So yeah, and Sarah, you should try the remix, because I really like it. I mean, it definitely doesn't feel like wool, but I think it's going to be a nice kind of like not too hot sweater. So even though the weight of it is like, it's still going to feel like an Aran sweater, I don't think it's going to be as hot as 100% wool sweater, because there is a pretty big, I think there's like a 30 something percent cotton in it. And then there's also some linen in it too. So anyway, let's see, where are we here? Oh, Sarah, yes, you were looking at you were talking to Vicky and asking about the knitting posse cal, and that's what I'm actually thinking of doing the Gulfstream pullover for. But it looks like just a really nice pullover. It's just got a little bit of detail in here, and I think it should knit fairly quickly. I know that in the pattern, they actually do it in the, I think it was the Harrisville Nightshades. And it looked very pretty in it. But to me, that seemed like, I think the tension is 15 or 16 stitches for 4 inches. So for me, that seemed like it was like a really loose tension for what's basically considered a DK weight yarn. So I know this not Patagonia, but Juniper Moon Santa Cruz is actually a worsted to an Aran weight. So I'm hoping that'll work out for it. And how is it working, Vicky, with your tension, with the daylights? I know, I feel bad for Kelly too, and I'm not used to just talking without having her right there to interact with me. So I'm hoping I'm keeping up with everybody's comments okay. So I know it's really frustrating for her too, because she's done so much to try and get her internet to run smoothly, but it just seems like where they are, the connections are just not as reliable as what they are. Like I'm in a kind of like a bigger area. Sarnia is a bigger place than Courtright that she lives in. And it seems like things are a little bit more reliable here. Okay, talk, Kelly, while you're on there.
I'm going to say, if and when I get kicked out again, I'm not coming back.
Okay.
You'll be on your own.
We'll have to just sign off early. So anyway, I might need
so
wine.
Sorry. It's beyond frustrating. You know, I've changed internet providers. I don't know what it is. Everything is hardwired.
I know, that's what I said. I said like you've done everything to be able to get that, but for some reason, the area that you're in just doesn't seem to. It doesn't. Well,
you know, really it was in an attempt. It was in an attempt to get some snappier internet, and then I don't know. I just don't know. I'm out of answers. I've had so many technicians working on this. Anyway, it's beyond frustrating. So again, if I get kicked out again, you're on your own, but I will try to sign back in to shut you off, I guess, at some time. Because
I wonder if like, do you think if you had your computer, like, well, you're hardwired.
I'm hardwired. Yeah. I don't know how to make it any better. I just don't know. So Amanda, you're right.
Technology sucks sometimes.
Sucks. So, and I should have had my nasty mug tonight, maybe. But anyway, so I'm completely out of all of these conversations. I've got no mojo going now. I don't know. I just feel
we've just been talking about doing different sweaters, and that I have to finish a sweater with sleeves before I can start another sweater. That's a rule I made for myself, and I'm going to follow it. Yeah. So even though, like I said, when I go to Wool and Silk tomorrow, I've already got yarn picked out that I want to buy for a sweater.
And you've got needles to pick up for me.
I know.
Yes. I bought a set. I bought the set. So I'm excited to get those. And I didn't even look at the yarn. So if you see something there that you think I can't live without, feel free.
Anyway.
I'm trying to behave this month. I'm really consciously trying to behave this month and not buy more things than I can knit.
Yeah.
So.
Vicky says all she wants to do is knit sweaters. I just want to knit everything. I just wish I had more time, but I do want to knit sweaters. So, but I was telling them about a little dress that I want to knit for the girls for Christmas, but it's a fingering weight. Yeah, fingering weight, 3 dresses. I don't know. I think I might get bored by the third one.
You did that last year, and you were cursing by the time you got to the third one.
But this one I would be able to. It's got little pops of color, so I would be able to put in my hand spun, so that I could do different hand spun for each one. So that would at least make it a little bit different. So.
Okay. Oh, bye, Scylla. She's heading to bed.
Bye, Scylla. Yeah, that is. She said it was late there. 30 minutes to midnight. So, oh, Elizabeth bought 8-inch circulars today. So I'll just be whipping up those socks in no time.
Mary, Wool and Silk is in Shelburne, Ontario.
Yes. And they do have an online.
She has an online store. And Diane has a beautiful shop. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could take some pictures for us when you're there, Noelle.
Okay.
And then we can add that to our next podcast. I've been trying to do that as we go from shop to shop, and just so that you can see where we like to shop, and hopefully, help out some of the LYSs in our area.
Yeah.
But
and if I make it to any other stores on the, it's supposed to be rainy, and what else are you going to do but go visit yard stores? Right?
That's right. Yeah. Diane also has a house in just outside of Shelburne that she rents out. It's like a retreat house, and we went there would it be 2 years ago or 3 now?
Yeah, it was in 2019.
2019 we went there, and we stayed for the weekend, and we had the best time. She had the front porch of the house. Like, she said that she's rented it out to other crafters, but I think mostly they were like sewing quilty crafters. Quilters. Yeah. So she, in this big sun porch, she had this gorgeous, it's a big table, work table, and then she has these really cozy, like they're comfortable, well supported, like computer high back chairs. And we basically spent our weekend. It was really cold that weekend, so we basically spent our weekend between the kitchen, where we had great meals. We had organized that before we went, and then we would move out to the craft room, and we drank wine and we knit. And we stayed up really late.
For me, especially for me.
Noelle, I remember, went and took an early evening nap, and then she came back and had some more wine, and it was like a dream weekend. There was, nobody else that we had to care for, just ourselves. There were craziness. And so we did face masks one night. We just had so much fun. So we had talked about going back. Are you sure it was in 2019? Yeah, it was 2019. We were going
to go back in 2020, and we couldn't.
And then that was the pandemic, so we didn't make it back. But anyway, it's a beautiful house, and we've often talked about going back, and hopefully we can, right? Like, we might be able to start planning that again.
Yep. And when you stay there, then Diane offers 15% off if you shop at the store, and the store is only like a 5-minute drive from where the house is. So I think we were at the store a couple of times because we stopped on the way there.
Yes, we were. So, and it was so much fun to come back and just like, oh, what'd you get? Because we didn't even all go at the same time. Sometimes like a few people would go. How many of us were there? Were there 8?
10 of us.
10. And the house was gorgeous, and it was so well equipped. And we just had the best time.
Yep.
Best time.
I know, it was funny because Kelly and I drove together, and so we stopped at different yarn stores along the way. And then when I got there, I forgot to call my husband to tell him that I got there. So by the time I finally got a hold of him and told him that we got there, he goes, yeah, I saw the credit card trail.
He has an app on his phone. So every time Noelle uses the credit card, he gets the ding. I'm sure his phone was sitting back there going ding, ding, ding. Yep. And Ross's blood pressure was going up, up, up. And he's like, look, I know where Noelle is. I can follow her trail where she's been shopping. But we had a great time. Wendy's asking, Noelle, if you've ever been to Linda's Craftique. It's 10
I
minutes
have
from
not.
Shelburne.
Oh.
Or the Knitting Basket in Rosemont, which is 20 minutes east of Shelburne.
Yeah, that might be
I didn't know.
Might be a hard sell to get Ross to go there, but we'll see.
Okay, but he's taking you to Wool and Silk. Don't bypass without my needles. I want my needles.
No, I will not. I will not. So
that'll be a reason to get him to stop. You've got to do a pickup for Kelly.
Oh, I already told him. I said we have to stop because Kelly needs me to pick something up for her. Anyway, it was funny because we had the kids over. Well, actually, Curtis and Rachel and the two granddaughters, and then my other son and his fiance were over for dinner. It was actually a beautiful day on Sunday. Sunday turned out actually quite warm, and it was nice sitting outside.
Almost too warm.
It was funny because Rachel was talking about. She goes, Ross, for your birthday, I'm going to get you a map with all the yarn stores in Ontario on it so that you can avoid them. She said, but for Noelle, for your birthday, I'm going to get you the same map so you know where they are.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway. Yes, Kim, it was a great time. I'm looking forward to being able to get back to doing more things like that. So.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Maybe we'll get one planned and get some people to join us. I think 10 was the maximum that could go there, right? And it was great. So we sort of organized. Well, it wasn't Noelle and I that organized it either. It was somebody from London, one of our friends, and so we had organized ahead of time, like who was going to make the meals, and so like everybody just kind of planned for one meal, or would pair up and make a meal. So you really only had to cook once over the weekend.
We had
tons of food. Yeah, tons of food. But it was so much fun.
Goodies and wine and
there was a lot of wine. There was a lot of wine. But
anyway,
I don't think any wine came home.
Oh, Glenda's here.
Oh, hi, Glenda.
Hi, Glenda. We're glad that you could make it. She said it's 37 minutes past midnight. Wow.
You're a trooper, Glenda.
Yep.
Beth was saying that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk as much as you tonight.
That's right, exactly.
Beth said that she's envious of all of our yarn stores. She said that all of theirs were put out of business by big box stores. We have, other than Michael's, we don't really have any big box yarn stores, do we? Like none that really pop, other than online. Like we have some larger ones online, but a lot of the yarn shops.
Mary Maxim's closed.
Right.
I guess the only place, the big places here that you could get it that are big box would be Walmart, right? Or
I guess, yes. Yeah.
So, but we don't have anything like Hobby Lobby or
Joann's
or so.
Yeah, and I honestly, I never think about Walmart, but so we have. Oops. I got balls going every which direction here.
I haven't picked anything up. I think I knit one row. That's it. But I did get some fiber in the mail today.
Did you?
I did.
Do show.
It's like, okay.
Oh, I love those colors.
Is that not gorgeous? Like,
look at all that purple. Those are my colors. That's gorgeous.
Anyway, so that one's called the Royals. Okay. Then this one.
Ooh, very nice.
One is called Whisper of Fall.
Very nice.
And this one.
Ooh, I love that one too.
It's called Jaded.
How do you know? Like, I guess
how do I know what it's called? How do I know what it's going to look like?
How do you know what it's going to look like?
I don't. It'll be a surprise. And this one.
Oh.
I can't remember what this one's called. Something about a beach.
Where did you get those? Where are they from?
I ordered them from a place out west called On a Quest for Fiber. She's got an Etsy shop and she's got a website. So I ordered those off the website. And one of them is Cheviot, one of them is BFL, and the other two are Polworth. So they're really nice. I'm looking forward to spinning them. So it's On a Quest for Fiber. So I'm really And it's even hard when you look at the pictures of the fiber online to know what's really going to come when it comes. But most of the time I find when it comes, it's prettier than what it even looked like on the.
I can't wait to see those colors.
Now I'm not drawn by single skeins of yarn anymore, but now I'm drawn by so basically it's the same thing, right? Except I have to spin it up.
Right.
But anyway.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
Is this true? I was just reading. Did somebody say that Ravelry has a trip planner?
Well, that's what they said.
Pretty sure Ravelry has a road trip planner. Really, Amanda? Like we could plan a trip based on yarn shops?
Your yarn stores?
Not that we don't already, but
I know.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah said she got her pattern prize. Yay. That's good. So I know if you got yours, everybody got theirs too then. Yeah. That was from, the pattern prizes were from Andrea Mowry, and that was from our last knit along. She very generously donated 3 patterns. And so I sent her the list of what everybody wanted, and she gifted them into the Ravelry. I think that's how she did it. Or did she email you? I'm not sure. I think she said she was going to do it through Ravelry. So.
Oh, Cecilia says hi. That's nice to catch us. She's from Pittsburgh. Oh, and she has 4 yarn shops in her
4 yarn shops. Nice. Very lucky. Very lucky. We have to drive a little ways to get to some of our yarn shops, but that's okay too, because we take, as long as we take turns driving.
Driving, that's right.
Because obviously the driver does not get to knit.
That's right.
So yeah.
Anyway, I know we were talking about on the weekend. We were talking about Woodstock or Woolstock.
Yes.
So Woolstock is a festival in southwestern Ontario. Basically, it's held. Is it the weekend after Thanksgiving usually? I think it is.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes it actually lines up with when Rhinebeck is. But anyways, they are supposedly having it this year, but we just have mixed feelings on whether I can go to a place that has that many people all at once. Just don't know. And I was actually really looking forward to going to it because I've not been to an actual fiber festival since I started spinning. So that's right. So most of the fiber that I've ordered online because all yarn shops don't have fiber, and if they do have fiber, it's just kind of limited amounts. So, but I know Woodstock, even though when I used to go there before, I wasn't really looking at it. I know that they do have quite a bit of fiber. So, but I don't know. We'll see. It's not like I don't have enough stuff to work on that would keep me busy till next year anyway.
Right.
So
I was just reading a note that Mary popped in. She said that she had to get hubby. She was sad that she had to get hubby to pick up yarn for a test knit because she wasn't sure how it was going to work out. But okay, so Mary, did you ask him to go into the yarn shop and pick the yarn out himself, or did you just have something picked out that he had to pick up? Because I'm having visions of a man. It's as bad as sending your husband like to a pharmacy to get tampons, right? Like, remember that? There was always an emergency at home. Just like, can you just stop on your way home and pick these up? I really need them, right? So I'm wondering, did he have to go into the yarn shop and actually choose it himself, or did you have something picked out? What else? Woodstock East and Tatamagouche.
We used to go, when we did go out east, we haven't been for a couple of years now. We used to go to I forget what it's called now, but it was the yarn store in Tatamagouche, which I know has since moved to somewhere else. And it was a lovely yarn store. And there's quite a few things there that would have been, hopefully maybe they'll have that some other year and we can go out there in September and go to that. Mm-hmm. That would be fun because that would have been right about around the time that we were out there in September. So.
Yeah. Margot's lucky. She says she has 4 yarn shops no more than 20 minutes away from her.
Wow. You are lucky.
That's lucky. Beth said she would have to drive 430 kilometers to a lovely yarn shop that she knows of, but then she'd have to quarantine 14 days before she came home. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for yarn, Beth. That's a lot.
And Janie says her favorite is Espace Tricot.
And Montrico in Sutton is a gem too.
Okay.
Oh, Mary said she picked it out and he just picked it up. Okay.
Okay.
You don't want to scare the poor guy. You have to
Yeah.
go to a yarn store. You have to choose the yarn, right? But that's good. All good.
Oh, well, see, Julia says she heard that the Woodstock Woolstock's going to be different, less local yarn store representation and more farms fiber.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah, Sisterhood Fibers. I've heard of that too, Teresa. Yeah, well, I guess it's kind of hard. Like, how do you say you're going to have total outdoor vendors when you really don't know what the weather's going to be like?
That's
like,
right.
Unless you've got,
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
You know, because if you were going to have weather like we're going to have for the next couple of days here, you wouldn't want to have a lot of yarn outside. Uh-oh, I hear rain now. Started already. You can't see anything.
Janet got back from a yarn trip to Chicago. They bussed to 4 yarn shops. So now she says she's going to have to stay at home for a while. And she will also have at least, she has a 40-minute drive to her. I can hear the rain at your house.
Yeah,
it must be coming down hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be fun on a bus trip for yarn.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because
and a bus has a huge amount of storage too. And it has huge storage. Yes. Yeah.
So Margot was saying the knitting loft is great. We really have to get there, Kelly.
I know. I can't believe we've not been.
Well, it's because it hasn't been open that long and it's been a pandemic.
Oh, really?
It was only maybe opened a year or so before the pandemic.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It hasn't been
open a long time.
I don't think it's been open for a long time. And they've done renovations and things too and expanded it. But they seem to have such a wide variety of yarn. It would just be nice to go and see it all in person.
We could do like a Toronto yarn crawl, right? Because there's quite a few. Tracy's on here. Tracy, do you have our possum mascot knit up yet? You sent me the pattern, but I was really hoping that in all your spare time you would just make us one. And then you could send it home with Noelle. And then, we could have a little possum mascot.
I looked at it
right on my shoulder.
I had a weekender sweater that I had to finish first.
Did you say? Oh, how close? No, you don't have the sleeves done. You're not dropping it off on your way.
No, okay. No, and it's kind of not it's not really on the way anyway. And plus, I still have to block it. So
Sarah wants to know if she should knit her husband a surprise sweater. He wants the wool and honey. How long is he in Japan for? Would you be able to get it done while he's away? That would be a nice surprise. Really nice.
Sure, Sarah, go for it. I wish my husband would want me to knit him a sweater.
He doesn't want a sweater?
I'm not going to spend that time. I'm not going to spend that time knitting. Some of my boys do though, so I would knit sweaters for them. But like, I'm not going to spend that much time knitting him a sweater if he really doesn't want one. So
Tracy says no.
And it was crocheted.
I can crochet. I'm short on time. I'm a little short on time. We are like 3 weeks in the baby countdown.
I looked at it. I looked at the pattern while I was knitting something else, thinking, I don't have time to do this.
But it's crochet. It goes quick. It's quick.
I'm not that. But you get into those little toys and it's all the little fiddly pieces.
Well, I know, but crochet's still fast. Maybe I'll look at it again.
Do it on the plane.
It's too fiddly to do on the plane. It's gone until the end of October. Sarah, you're alone until the end of October? Oh my goodness. Wow. That's a long time. But I guess if you're going to Japan, you've got to make it worth your time,
that's right?
That's a long trip.
Okay, so Cheryl said she found a possum crochet. I found a couple of different ones, some knit ones and some crochet ones, and I might get to one, but we'll see.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
Then yes, definitely. If he's gone until the end of October, absolutely. I think you should knit him a sweater. Yes. Yes.
Okay, maybe I should knit here.
Do you think?
I should. So Marianne said she only had Sunday, so she went to 2 that were local to her. And Mary's going to knit tons of toques for kids and grandkids, but she's knitting a shawl for a test knit first. So I know I really have to probably sit down and figure out what I am going to make for Christmas and figure out realistically how much time I have, because it's not just, I want to make tea towels too, right? So I still want to weave, still want to knit some stuff, still got to get all the socks done. So I got to figure out how much time everything's going to take. So
I finished a little hat for the baby to go with the little sweater that I made. And then I started some socks last night to make to go with. And I was talking to my daughter today, and I said, we have to get a little picture. I can think about it in my head, with just the baby, like just wearing like bare legs and a diaper, but wearing the little sweater and the socks and this little hat. And the hat is so cute. It's like a little acorn, and it's got a little knot, a knitted knot. So I had to do 3.5 inches of 8 stitches. There's
Was that I-cord?
Well, it's pretty much I-cord. It's only 8 stitches. So the pattern said, oh, put them on 3 needles. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not doing that. So I just took a 16-inch cable and I was knitting it back and forth, but still 16-inch cable, and it wasn't a very flexible one. So it took me probably the better part of an hour to knit 3.5 inches on 8 stitches. But it turned out.
Can you do 8 stitches on an I-cord? Could you not have done it as an I-cord and just pulled it to the other side? And
I didn't know if I could. 8 stitches sounded like a lot. I've only done, I don't know what the maximum number that I've done before, but that sounded like not enough, or like too many stitches for an I-cord. So I just did it the old-fashioned way. And all I kept thinking about was, oh, I wish I had, one of those. What did we do when we were kids? The spool,
the corking.
Yeah. I thought that even would have been quicker than what I was doing. It was so fiddly, but so darn cute. And then, so once you finish that off, then you just tie that little tube in a little knot.
Yeah, it's cute. It is a cute hat.
It's really cute. So, yes, Mary, of course I will share pictures. Be prepared. Instagram feed is going to be overloaded with baby photos for sure. Grandbaby photos. Getting so excited. My daughter called today, and every time she calls now, if it's not
a scheduled call
at a scheduled time that I'm used to her calling me, I'm thinking, oh, is it time? Is she in labor? Like, is something going to happen? Do I have to grab my bag and go? I don't know. Super exciting. So exciting.
So Judith was saying they're in COVID lockdown in Australia, but it's forcing her to use her stash, which is a positive. So
I've been watching a little bit of some news footage from Australia.
It looked scary.
There's a fair bit of unrest there right now. Yeah, against the labor unions and the lockdowns. So hopefully that all gets settled soon.
Yeah.
We had here in Canada, we had an election yesterday. So today is pretty much the same as it was before the election. So we had a short election. We had lots of campaigning. Certain that many millions of dollars were spent on the election. And today we woke up and it was exactly the same as yesterday. We have a minority government, same 2 parties, and nothing else has really changed.
Did you have to line up to vote?
Well, I voted in Courtrights. We're smaller station, and no, I didn't really have to.
No, and I
think there were 2 people ahead of us.
Yeah, I voted early and I basically just walked in, voted, and walked out. So, but I just saw some of the lineups, like in places in Toronto, where people waited like an hour in line to get into.
But it's important. It's important.
Oh, yeah. But
you could have knit in line. You could stand and knit in line.
That's true.
Right?
Yep. You wouldn't have wanted to be standing in line out here tonight.
No. Amanda said that she got one of her seams sewn during the chat so far, so she feels slightly accomplished. Well, you should.
Good.
That's good. It's great.
And Glenda says she's going to knit her nearly 2-year-old granddaughter a dinosaur jumper.
That's cute. Oh, there was a garage sale. Gwen went to a garage sale and she says, oh man, the skeins on sale. She got over 30 skeins of yarn. That's a lot.
Where was that?
I don't know where she's from. Trying to remember. I know that she joins us here, but I'm trying to remember.
Okay, I dropped stitches. Gotta leave it. Fix it after. Typical knit chat night. Anyway, Mary said her voting was easy.
No, I had no issues.
Probably if you were only in like a big center.
Yes.
And if obviously at certain times when everybody gets off work or whatever, it's probably busier at those times.
Yeah. Well, when I drove to work yesterday morning, I think I passed 3 polling stations on my way, and there were lineups outside of all 3. But I thought, that's great. Like, get out there, cast your vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Sarah said. Glad we could have an election. So basically nothing changed. Yeah.
So Judy
Yeah.
said, is voting compulsory in Canada?
No.
No, they just encourage it. She said in Australia it's compulsory.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So.
But I always say, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain about anything that happens either. Gotta have your say.
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't
100%.
think of not voting. Like,
No,
so.
no. Where are you in, Amanda? Where are you from? In. Sorry, where are you from, Amanda? She says that she wishes they would do some type of lockdown, or at the very least a mask mandate. We still have mask mandates here in Ontario.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to change with the like, that's even, like I said, I think I've said before, my granddaughter, she'll be 4 in October, and she just started JK, and the school that she goes to is mandatory even for JK to wear a mask all day long. So
it's got to be so hard, though.
It's funny because Jacqueline said, I don't know if I told you guys this like last week or not, but she said, like, it's always, so she's got a mask on all day at school. She can take it off when she eats her lunch and when they're outside. And then she goes to like an after school program just for an hour before they go and get her. So Jacqueline says she comes, she gets in the car and she takes the mask off and she goes, oh, that feels so good.
Oh.
Jacqueline goes, just wait till you're older and you're taking off your bra at the end of the day. When you just go, ah. So.
Kim says they actually get fined if they don't vote. And I know Kim's in Australia as well. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And Sarah said they just had their first COVID case at school.
One of the schools here, Gregory Hogan, is closed.
Is it really? Oh, I don't want to hear that so soon. Yeah. We're not even out of September yet.
Well, okay, I shouldn't say it's closed. Classes are canceled. The school's still open, but there's no classes. So, but that was because I heard it on the news today. They said it was an outbreak. And I think an outbreak is what, 2 cases maybe?
2 cases. 2 cases, yeah, I think.
So who were we to? Who? Oh.
Jose is did her second sleeve on the Pearl Code. I love that sweater. That's really nice.
That's the one that you can put your own pattern in, right?
Yes, I think like you get to decide where the pearl,
where you're going to put the, because I think it's like by Morse code or something, and it's got different. So,
yeah. Sarah says the kiddies usually have their masks kind of hanging all off of their faces, though.
Yeah.
Oh, still, it's a shame. Well, and here's something I thought that was odd that happened at the polling station last night. So you have to show identification clearly, right? So you have your voting card and you have your identification. I don't know. Could anybody tell who I am when I'm like covered up to here?
That's true. I never thought of that.
At the airport, when they're checking your identification, they ask you to just pull your mask down for like a quick peek so they can look at your ID and then verify you are who you are. They didn't ask me that at the voting station, and I'm thinking, can you tell just from my eyes who I am? So, oh, somebody wants to know what you're wearing. I think they asked earlier, and I forgot to mention it.
This is the Peep Show pullover. Show here, but I'm going to be careful I don't flash anybody today. It's got little drop stitches down at the end. It's the Peep Show pullover by Morgan. I can't pronounce her last name, but she's More Thunder, and it is done in Full Moon Fibers, Moon Rock Slub, and Lichen and Lace 80/20 sock. So I was just going back here. Michelle says she's having a no bra lockdown.
I want to get in on that one. I want to get in on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sarah said she had a no bra lockdown too, which made going back to work even harder. Mask and a bra.
Right? So much restraint.
That's funny. So I know. I think that, about the mask and little kids, they're going to be constantly touching them. So, and social distancing, you're right. They don't know what social distancing is. So.
Okay. To be fair, they shouldn't know what social distancing is.
No, they shouldn't.
Children should be allowed to be children, and they should not have to socially distance. They should be able to have fun with their friends. And it's just a shame that we're in the situations that we're in right now, that any of us have to go without being with people, really.
Well, yeah, because you look at the ones that are kind of starting now, that are like, 3.5, 4, that are starting, like, basically for all the time that they would have been exposed to other kids, we've basically been in a pandemic. So even going to school now is like, I don't know, it's going to be hard for them. And then to like have the restrictions that are placed on them after that, and I don't know, it's going to be hard.
Tracy said that she's sure that the sales of bras are really down this past year. I bet you they are.
I bet you they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know, I would even think, like, I feel like clothing sales would be down even, because if, I mean, I know I wasn't buying clothes. If I don't have to buy clothes to go to, well, I shouldn't, I don't know. Why am I even saying that? I did go to work every day. I didn't get time off work. But if a lot of people weren't going to work, right, then maybe they were thinking, well, I wouldn't buy clothes. But I guess I wasn't buying clothes because the stores were closed. And so if I couldn't buy it online, I didn't need it that badly, right? I just went without.
Well, there was a lot, remember at the beginning of the pandemic, though, it was like there was a real rush on all the Lululemon stuff and all the comfy stuff because everybody was working from home. So I know, and that's even the thing with all my sweaters and stuff. I haven't worn my sweaters that much because I wasn't going out anywhere. Well, if I was just in the house, I wasn't putting on, a nice sweater to sit and spill red wine on it or something.
Like, we'll be able to tell our grandchildren that we lived through a toilet paper shortage, right?
Yes.
And did I say this last week? I don't know who I was telling, but or maybe we were just talking about it when we were under the bridge. But I saw a little meme that said, we'll be able to tell our grandchildren we are older than the internet.
Yeah,
we are.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And our grandchildren, for me now, I guess, but if you're younger, wouldn't be able to remember a time when the internet didn't exist, but it truly didn't.
Yep, I know. That's right. You just didn't go look something up. You actually had to like go to the library.
I know. Do you remember having to do school projects and we all had encyclopedias, right?
Yes.
And you had to like get out the encyclopedia, look under the letter, find the subject, and then basically just rewrite what you're reading and make a little project about it for school.
Yep.
Deborah said lipstick probably didn't sell. I don't know, Deborah. I might disagree on the lipstick because everybody was using Zoom for the past 2 years and you had to look Zoom approved. So I think lipstick sales were probably maybe up because people were more conscious about it. But from the point of view that the last thing you want is lipstick on if you have to wear a mask. Yeah.
Or putting makeup on. And like when I would go out anywhere, like the only time I would put on makeup was if we're doing one of these knit chats or a podcast. If I was going out somewhere just to shop, I wasn't going to put makeup on because I was putting a mask on top of it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Julia's talking about rotary dial phones.
Oh, gosh.
Or Eaton's catalog, consumers distributing. Yeah, no seatbelt.
Party lines on the phone. You had to pick it up, listen for a minute to see if somebody else was on, then ask if they were going to be much longer. Do you remember that? I grew up in Nova Scotia, so we had a party line. We had a party line until I was in my teenage years. That's how long that went on for. What else? The Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, and encyclopedias. Yeah, and like your parents wanted to buy a good set of encyclopedias to have in the house so that you could.
They practically had to. Okay, can we just admit that they had to practically mortgage their house so that you could have encyclopedias?
Yeah.
Only really wealthy people had encyclopedias. Other than that, you might have had a set, but your parents were going to pay for them until they died, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And where are they now? Even if you found them like at a garage sale, nobody would pay a nickel for them. It's crazy.
But remember, like, plus your rotary dial phones that had like the cord on it, so you could walk around and walk from one room to the other. Then when you'd hang up the phone, you've got this huge, big, long cord.
You had to unwind yourself and put it back. Yep. Oh, that was our ring too. Yeah. We had the one long, too short. That was me too, Julia.
I don't remember what ours was, but by the time we moved to Sarnia, we had a private line. We didn't have the So
I can't remember when our TV had 2 channels.
I can remember when my parents said that if we ever had a color TV, it would mean we were rich. We weren't rich. We eventually did get a color TV, but it wasn't for quite a while. So
Phone booths, I know. So what about pay phones, period? Like, and they
I
still
know if you
exist.
don't
But
have,
when is the last time somebody on this knit chat right now had to use a payphone? I mean, I would
no,
never
I
have.
didn't use a payphone. I remember would be about 9 or 10 years ago, and Jacqueline and I were in Toronto, and we were running a race, and I couldn't find her at the end of the race. She had her phone with her, but I didn't have a phone.
Okay.
Right. So I'm trying to get a hold of her. Well, there's no payphone. So anyway, so some other runner let me use their phone to call Jacqueline on her phone. Jacqueline didn't answer because she didn't recognize the number.
I liked Kathy's comment there. She said that every time we talk about knitting under the bridge, she gets a weird vision of trolls gathering there with their knitting projects.
No trolls.
No trolls. Lots of people and dogs staring at a group of ladies wrapped up in their woolies knitting.
Yep. I know. And Josie's saying, and some of us had to get up to change the channel on the TV.
What?
I used to think, I know, like I used to think before we got a remote, I thought, oh, like who would ever want a remote? That's ridiculous. Having to get up, like big deal. You have to get up and go and change the channel. Now I would spend a freaking half an hour looking for the remote before I would go change the channel.
Yeah, but on today's TV, how would you find where to change the channel? Remember, it was actually a dial.
I know, but it's at the back. But still, yeah. even when it had that, seriously, I'd spend half an hour looking for the remote before I go change the channel. So
that could be a new mascot idea. Instead of the possum, we could just get little knitting trolls. Public payphones are now free to use, very recently announced. Well, my goodness, Michelle. Very fancy over there. But who, Julia says no trolls. Okay, no, Julia.
No trolls.
No trolls.
Yes, and we had turntables, right? So we didn't call them turntables, we called them record players.
Record players, yeah.
Right? Because they played records.
At different speeds, too.
At different speeds, right. All your 45s with all your...
Yeah, and then the 78s. Yep.
Yep. And then your long playing ones. So actually a lot of our Christmas music when the kids were growing up was all on big albums that we had. So when my youngest son, the 1 year, like he wanted something on and he didn't know what it was called. And he goes, well, can you put that on? And he goes, you know that big CD.
Big CD.
Anyway,
Amanda says that her mother-in-law organizes her books using the Dewey Decimal System, and her husband's books are in the Library of Congress. Wow, that is impressive. That's really impressive. Oh, Julia just said 8-track. Oh my gosh,
I know.
8 tracks. Oh, so big. And then remember, we would record TV shows. I remember my parents were big fans of Dynasty. Well, I'm sure it started as Dallas and then it went to Dynasty, right?
Yep.
And they'd always say, okay, like set it up to record Dynasty. She couldn't miss an episode of that.
Sarah, we still have a whole bunch of the old Fisher-Price toys, like the record player, and because we kept all the stuff from when our kids were, and I mean, that's not that long ago, but I mean, Jacqueline is almost 39, so it's quite a while ago. And a lot of the stuff that we have from back then, it's so much better made than the stuff that you get today. Like, and the girls, the granddaughters, when they come over, have so much fun playing with it because it's just something different.
Yeah.
So
Beth still has her first record. It's a 45. It's Leapy Lee singing Little Arrows. Oh boy. I do not remember getting records on cereal boxes, Julia.
I don't remember that either. We probably weren't allowed to have the kind of cereal that had records on the back.
I know. Wouldn't have been in my house either. No. My mom used to sometimes buy for a treat, not for cereal bowls, but remember, I think, what were they called? They were the round brown balls, sugar pops. Can't Can't get enough of these sugar pops.
Sugar pops?
Sugar pops, was it?
I don't know.
They were kind of like a caramelly color, and they were like
Probably.
just a round ball. So my mom used to buy those. And sometimes, if we were well behaved that week on a Friday night, you might get to have a little snack bowl of cereal. No milk, because you didn't have candies and chips.
Yep. So.
Oh yes, Julia, the little figurines in the red rose tea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We never got those because my mom would only drink Tetley. so we never got to have those.
Jose started the gnome meal today. They could be knitted instead of the trolls. Yeah, maybe.
The gnomes. Gnomes, you mean?
The gnomes, yes.
The gnomes, yeah. Yep. Puppy Love by Donny Osmond. I know.
Oh,
I had that one too.
Are those songs on Spotify? Could I pull them up?
I don't know. Anyway.
No, Ewa, it wasn't Cocoa Puffs, and Marianne, it wasn't Sugar Crisps. They were sugar round balls. Were they Sugar Pops?
I don't know. We used to get Lucky Charms with the marshmallows in it.
Oh. We had a friend who proposed to his fiance in a bowl of Lucky Charms. He put the ring in the Lucky Charms and told her to go searching for treasure. I was worried she was going to choke on it. I didn't think that was the best idea, but.
Oh, Pat says her late husband used to highlight all of the Christmas shows in TV Guide and record them on tape for the kids. I remember TV Guide. I remember having to get TV Guide magazine every week and then look through what you were going to.
Corn Pops, Margaret. Yes, that's what they were.
Corn Pops?
Corn Pop. No, Pops. Corn Pops.
Pops.
Yes. Oh, and Sarah had a Commodore 64. Yes. You could play Phoenix on that, wasn't it? With the birds, and they made these awful pew pew sounds.
I don't remember that.
Terrible sounds. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep, everybody's saying Corn Pops. That was it. Yep. It was Corn Pops. Those little red rose tea, they became quite the little collector's items too, for a period of time. I was trying to think what else we used to collect from cereal boxes. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know, but I just know that you were buying the cereal for whatever's ever in the box and not the...
Absolutely.
Not the cereal.
So. Well, like I said, I don't think there was any nutritional value in it whatsoever, but... Saturday night, bath night. Yes. Bath night.
Hey, I used to bath my 4 boys together.
Did you?
They were all under 5 or whatever. It's like, I'm sorry, guys, in the bathtub. So, but we used to have, we had Wednesday night and Saturday nights were bath nights.
Beth has a good story. She said that a friend videotaped their wedding, and he reused an old tape. So at the point where they come out of the church doors, the soundtrack for Star Wars was breaking out. That's awesome. That's like the best wedding ever.
Yeah.
You should put that onto a TikTok video now, Beth. It would go viral, right?
Yep.
Back to the Future cards. Yeah. Bowling coupons in the cereal box. We didn't have a bowling alley in Nova Scotia where I lived. That wouldn't have helped us at all.
No. Kool-Aid points. I think I do remember that.
I don't remember that either. Oh, Glenda said her late husband said that he was 3 of 4 for the bathwater. Oh dear. Oh no, the last of 3 for the bathwater.
I didn't. I put them all in together. Then everybody got fresh water. Everybody got out of yucky water.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Hi, Sherry. She's late in Idaho. Well, we are just trolling down memory lane, talking about some of the things that we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
I do remember our first cell phone that we had in our family, though. It was a Motorola. It was, like this big, right?
Yep.
Had a big flip on the front of it. So cool. So cool with that massive thing. Yeah. We have a cell phone. I think we ended up giving it to Damon to play with, like when he was young. After we were done with it, he would pick it up and pretend he was calling somebody. Gwen had the green army men. Yes. Actually, so my husband actually grew up in the house next door to where we live now. And the people next door were doing some renovations last year. They were digging up beside their house and they found one of the little green men, but he had his hands up like this, and they brought it over and asked if my husband recognized it. And my husband said, yes, he used to have a plastic parachute attached to him. And you could like fold up the parachute and go drop him out of a second-story window, and he would kind of float down to the ground.
Yep.
Ding dong, Avon calling. Yes, Kim.
Yes.
My mom sold Avon. Yes. I probably still have some of that stuff around my house.
Penny candy. Like, remember when penny candy was actually a penny?
A penny? Some of it was 2 for a penny?
I know. Some of it was even more than that. Some of it you could get, like, I think black balls used to be like, and they were like jawbreakers, but they were black because we used to suck them and then paint ourselves with them.
Yeah, because every time you sucked off a layer, it was a different color, right?
That's right. So,
yeah. Everybody loved their Avon lady. Mary, you're right. You were sure that you kept her in business. No, lots of people kept her in business. Every time that little catalog came out, and then they'd have those great sales. Buy 3 of them and you'll get 1 free. So you better buy 3 more things. And then you would go to garage sales and people would have all their Avon out there at the garage sales because they overbought.
Yep.
Oh. Beth said she lived in remote Australia, so they didn't have most of those cereals and snacks. Nearest shop was a week's drive. My goodness, Beth. They had porridge.
Or pikelets? What are pikelets?
Snacks were home bakes. Yep. The Sears catalog before Christmas.
Said 5 mojos for a penny. You could get a whole bag of stuff for like a nickel.
Yep.
Beth says her mom was an Avon lady and she made her way to district manager. Our first TV or hand mixer and stereo were sales prizes she won. Avon's still around, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I think I still have a Dutch oven that my mom won. It was a La Crusette. It's quite a nice Dutch oven. It's not very big though, but she did win it from Avon from some of her sales. So anyway.
Oh yeah, bazooka gum. I remember that.
And there was little, it had little cartoons in there. And if you got silly putty, remember this? You could put it on the silly putty and then you could see it on the silly putty. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I didn't get very much knit, but
I have to go fix mine.
Yeah. And we're at 1 hour and 18 minutes and it doesn't feel like that because literally I feel like I've only been in here for 20 minutes, but once I finally got locked and loaded, we stayed in place. So easy bake oven. Oh yes.
I got an easy bake oven. I got easy bake oven when I turned 50 because when I was growing up, I wanted an easy bake oven so badly. I don't know if I probably didn't tell my parents, but my sister got one for Christmas and I didn't. And I wanted that easy bake oven so bad. And we would talk about it all the time. So on my 50th birthday, my sister got me an actual easy bake oven.
I wanted, I never got this, but I always wanted one. I wanted the doll head that you could style the hair. I always wanted one and I never got one. That was my wish.
Anyway.
I think my parents said, you have your own thick head of hair. Go style that. Yes, Janie, the internet got scared of me. You're right. I threatened. I said, if you kick me off one more time, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. And then it smartened up. That was it.
Yep. So.
Okay. All right. So we'll be back here next week. Hopefully we won't have storms. Hopefully my internet behaves. And in the meantime, keep working on the shawls. Keep working on your socks. What else we got? I think that's all we have going on right now to the end of October.
But just keep knitting.
Keep knitting
Just
and
keep
stay
knitting.
safe.
Yep. Stay safe. Stay sane. Knitting keeps me sane.
Knitting keeps me sane. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Actually, I heard that somebody that I was talking to the other day at work, you know how usually like now when I say goodbye, I will always say, you know, take care or stay safe. And he said, stay sane. And I thought that's a good one. I might use it. I might use it.
Yeah.
So
So
anyway, have a lovely week,
take care,
everybody.
everyone. Yep,
Thanks
have
so
a great
much for
week, and
joining
we'll
in, putting up
talk
with
next week.
my issues.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.